So far we have covered teachings on impermanence, sufferings of samsara, karma and its effects. Now with those effects, those teachings and understanding of those teachings, if you really understand deeply in heart, one might feel urgency. There's an urgency to do something. And there's an urgency to do something to free oneself from the samsara, which is a good thing. But then if we don't have the loving kindness and compassion strong enough to include all sentient beings, then the focus could be self-liberation. And since we want to follow the path of Mahayana all the way to the enlightenment, that can be a distraction. So for Mahayana's path, there are two extremes. One is the samsara, the other is nirvana. Nirvana is also an extreme. So the teachings of the loving kindness and compassion, meditation on the loving kindness and compassion becomes very important, because those are the teachings that overcomes the obstacles and obstacles to the complete enlightenment. So now let's focus on this, loving kindness and compassion. First on loving kindness. The base, the foundation for loving kindness is in the memory of kindness, kindness that you received. If you want to give loving kindness to others, first you have to think about the kindness that you have received. So it starts from there. So you have to think of, you have to recall any kind of kindness, care that you receive from others. Anything that can make you feel good. And there are many things that we don't remember. The problem is we don't remember that we received the care and kindness. And that is a bigger problem. So what do we do with that? I think one of the helpful way is to look at, because it's helpful to look at them because it's now, you can see them, it's present. Our own experience is maybe hard to remember because it's a long time ago and we don't remember everything of the past. So therefore, the classical object of the meditation on loving kindness is one's own mother in Buddhist teachings. So basically, this practice on loving kindness, starts from the memory of kindness, remembering the kindness. Kindness of, usually it categorized into 4 major fields, and that's the kindness of giving you or giving us the body, undergoing hardships, the mother went through hardships, giving us the life, showing us the world. So we receive these, whether we remember or not, we have received this. And the proof is that the fact that we are alive today. The mother is used here as the object of loving kindness because loving kindness is based on the memory of kindness. Even though we cannot remember everything, we can understand that Mother was the first person from whom we receive the kindness and care in this life. And then additionally, if you have memory of receiving any affectionate kindness from anyone, then you can also meditate on that. So basically it is the memory of kindness. That's what you need to meditate on. So after you've done that for a while, every session of loving kindness meditation start with that. And then after a while, when you feel that you have received, you are inundated, you are showered by the loving kindness, then in return, you make good wishes. First, for that person, very focused wish, wishing that this person be happy, healthy, free from fear, free from suffering, free from pain. So now this is the meditation on the loving kindness. And then you expand that, knowing that every sentient being has this, the kindness in them. And every sentient being is in need of kindness in return. And every sentient being wishes to be happy, healthy, be with the cause of happiness. So you expand that. So that's the practice of meditating on the loving kindness. We often practice this 4 immeasurables. Here we have 4 immeasurables here in this practice book as well. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and root of happiness. That is the practice of loving kindness. What is immeasurables? The loving kindness practice should be immeasurables, unlimited to a certain number of people or certain species of sentient beings. It should be immeasurables, not limited. So now the question is, does that mean I have to imagine species by species and, all kinds of people and beings? Because I don't know all sentient beings. The answer is no. Then what is immeasurable? Immeasurable means that even when you get really angry with somebody, for whatever reason, deep in your heart, you're not giving up that person. You're still able to making wish that this person be good, happy, healthy. So if you say, this is a really bad person, it embarrassed me, caused me a lot of sufferings, so I wish this person be never happy. If you have this in mind, then your loving kindness practice is not immeasurable. Then it's measurable. So if you have an exclusion of a sentient being from your practice in your mind, then that's not immeasurable. So we have to practice that we don't have this kind of thought. Maybe you don't want to deal with this person, right? For unknown time. But you never want to give up this sentient beings. You always wish that this person be good. This person don't do negative things. So the other thing is, may they be with the root of happiness. So doing negative thing, causing others harm, is not the root of happiness. So may they be with the root of happiness, not root of suffering. So you're always leaving a hope for their improvement. And you're still keeping them in your good wish, in the field of your good wish. So that way we can practice immeasurable loving kindness. Loving kindness and compassion. So next is compassion. The sentient beings, the animals, the humans are taking care of their child. Now we focus on the sufferings, the pains that they're going through, the mental sufferings, physical pain. And then you think of the sufferings and pain one's own mother, or in extension to that is anyone who's kind to you. So you have to spend time on this. Instead of jumping very quickly, you have to feel it, you go slowly. Just think of a particular incident. Go in detail, try to spend time on this. Try to see the sufferings. Because suffering itself is now the base, the ground for the practice of compassion. Earlier, the memory of the kindness is the ground for loving kindness practice. Now, seeing the suffering, understanding the suffering of others is the ground for the practice of compassion. Is the feeling. Suffering means the other's pain and feeling. That is the object of compassion. It's not so much the physical things, it's the feeling going through that pain. That's the object, the compassion. So it's more of a dying, for example, rather than the dead body. If you see a dead body of an insect, maybe you will not feel that much. But if you see the process of dying, they're going through pain, you can feel more. Because feeling invites feeling. The dead body doesn't have feeling. So the feeling, and particularly the painful feelings, are the subject of this compassion, on which we can grow the compassion. The closer you can see, the truer it is, more powerful it is. Maybe some people are suffering a lot right now, far away somewhere in the South Pole or North Pole, right? Some few people, but maybe going through sufferings. We don't feel much because we're not seeing it. We're not seeing the suffering. So if you don't see the suffering, you cannot develop the compassion. Maybe now we hear news saying that so-and-so place got a big accident, a landslide, a plane crash, and then so many people die. Oh, we feel bad. But that's a very quick, short, and then it's a news. But let's imagine that you are there, standing in front of all these things, and it's so much real. And it can disturb your mind. It could be there in your mind for a long time when you see it. Therefore, again, same thing. If you look at the insect, you don't feel that much. But if you are looking at maybe some larger animals, you can see a lot more of their pain. So there's something to do with the distance, how close you are, and the clearer you see, the feeling is stronger. So compassion means you're moved, you're shaken by their feeling. So you feel them, you feel their sufferings. You're moved, you're shaken after something else. You're shaken because of the someone else feeling. So that's the compassion. So this is the ground for the bodhicitta, the next level. So if you just feel the compassion, it's great, but it's not, now what? What can you do? So you won't stop there. You'll try to do something. And there's many ways to do. But according to the teaching, the best way to help, one that can eradicate the whole suffering, is the enlightenment. Need to wake up. Need to wake up others. To wake up others, we ourselves have to wake up. So that's where the bodhicitta comes in. So wanting to wake up, to help others, to help others also to wake up, wanting to enlighten, to help others, and eventually help others to enlighten. That is known as bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, citta means mind, bodhi means enlighten, Buddhahood. So here what it means is, in general, there can be ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta is that mirror I was talking about the first day, the mirror-like wisdom, or mirror that is staying right now. So that mirror, when it becomes free of the stains, that is Dharmakaya, and that is also the ultimate bodhicitta. So ultimate bodhicitta is the luminous mind, luminous wisdom, that is the representation of the emptiness and compassion. But right now, we are focusing more on the relative bodhicitta. And we are particularly talking about the beginning of the path. So the mind here is not we're not talking about the Dharmakaya or the mind, the mirror-like mind which is free from the stains. We're talking about the intention to be there. We're talking about the strong interest and decision to achieve that state. So that kind of strong intention, strong mind, the attitude is the citta here. Intention to achieve the awakened state for the purpose of all sentient beings. So there's a twofold here. One is the goal, one is the why are you trying to achieve that? It's for the sake of all. So with these two, we are avoiding the two extremes of the path, the samsara and nirvana. Aiming to the bodhi, we are eliminating this samsaric trap for the sake of all sentient beings, so we are eliminating the other extremes, the nirvana, so we won't fall in the trap of nirvana as arhats do.
Rinpoche, I really liked what you said yesterday, that bodhicitta is, although you're trying to help everybody, it's focused on changing yourself, the practitioner, and not changing everybody. But there are many kinds of practitioners, some who practice, solitary, and some who practice in, trying to do things for many people. Both achieve the same way. Can you talk about how can we decide for ourselves what's the appropriate way to practice? Or, is there different stages where you might be more trying to help others, and then maybe later on it becomes more focused on formal practices?
Formal practices?
Sitting meditation.
Mm-hmm. Sitting meditation is actually like training. So it's like actual meditation happens off the cushion. On the cushion we think is the main practice, but you're preparing to be able to practice anytime, anywhere. The actual practice happens afterwards. So maybe you don't need to sit when you are good at meditation, you don't need to sit to meditate. You can be meditating while you're talking, while you're walking. Or are you thinking?
It sounds like when you're able to do that, that's a result. When we're generating bodhicitta, it's to help others, and I don't know if primarily by yourself becoming awakened, but of course you also help others when you can. So what's the balance between going out to help others? Because there's also, typically we think compassion is bringing material help to people.
Achieving enlightenment is only is a tool, okay, for the sake of all sentient beings. We're trying to achieve that for the sake of all sentient beings. So the genuine goal is still helping. So one should have the long goal and short ones, immediate. So short ones, it doesn't contradict with doing good things, helping others right away now, whenever you can. But from the teaching, from the knowledge we have gained from the teaching, immediate help, the material help, is not the ultimate solution. Material help is necessary for immediate relief of the sufferings, so we do as much we can, but that is not really the solution. The real solution is knowledge, giving knowledge to others. To give knowledge to others, one has to have knowledge. And the highest knowledge is enlightenment. So we aim for that for the sake of all. And how much on this percentage, that depends on individual. Each one's condition, situation is different. Someone maybe can go out and do more things. For some people, maybe that's not the best way. Maybe they can spend more time on the spiritual side.
Thank you.
Question from online, Rinpoche. I can feel the love for my mother, but sometimes she treats me from her point of view without considering my needs, causing a lot of pressure and disturbance in me. The situation doesn't change after many efforts and communication. How should I face this?
All the good parts, care, protection that we received, we don't remember, because that happened when we are at the weakest point. And all we remember is at the later time. So we need to focus on the much earlier time to develop loving kindness and compassion. Because the help you receive when you're very weak is the greatest help. When you're in the womb, when you are just born, if somebody just left you there, you could die. No one has to kill you. You could just die without taking care of you. So the help that we received when we were very weak values a lot. So we need to think about the earlier care that we receive. So we look at the other things, other animals, other human beings, and look at how the child receives love and care and kisses and hugs from the mother. And the fact that we are alive now is a proof that we did receive that. So we need to focus on these things. Only then we can develop the loving kindness.
And Rinpoche,